following is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1.
We are on the final level here for MRE Uno's Arcade April. As tonight, we will crown our second tournament victor of the season. Question is, who will end up being, as we are down to 2. Hello everyone, and welcome to the final boss finale here for Tournament 2 of the MRE Uno D1 season, Arcade April. I'm G-Man, and we have quite the finale set for you here. It is going to be the number 1 seed from the ticket region, Nick, taking on the number 15 seed of the joystick region, Ridley. This is going to be the second season in a row where we're going to end up having a 15 seed in this finale for Tournament 2 here. And for Nick, it's going to be his second straight Final Four, but this time making it to the finale here, unlike last tournament. So for Nick, off to a great start the season. Looking to capitalize off it with a tournament win, would be his second in his career, so we'll see if he can get that done. But this is the finale set for tonight here. We'll have our third place game tomorrow to officially wrap up the tournament, but this will be the one that everyone has their eyes focused on here, as for both players, they want to cap off what's been a great run with their 6th win of the tournament and a direct spot in Super League Miami at the end of the season. All right, well, before we begin, let's jump into some of the preview for Nick, his run through his region. It was a very interesting run, to say the least. It was kind of all over the place. I got the win over Camaro and a DQ win in the opening round. And then defeated Ghost 4-2 in the Turbo 32, went on to sweep Caesar in the Super 16, and then the All-Star 8 took down Brad, who was on a bit of a good run, 5-2 in that one, so it was one bouncing all over the place. And then in the Final Four, I mean, you'll see this for both Final Four matchups, 6-1 outcome over G-Man. Definitely a big run there. I mean, started down 1-0 and then won 6 straight games, so really got the engines going there, and ran away with it. G-Man kind of left in the dust on that one, but for Nick, going on to the finale here to face Ridley, who has had a decently difficult path, to say the least. I mean, all single-digit seeds throughout this one. No seed higher than 7 as well, so has been playing lower half seeds throughout this entire run, so it's been beating some good competition. Start off with a big upset win over Lara in the round of 64. Start 64, 4-1 win there. And then had a close call in the Turbo 32 with Logan, but ended up getting the win there 4-3. He managed to hang on and move forward. Super 16 took down to Pier 5-3. Pretty good back and forth match, but really kind of took off with it at the end and got the win there. And then in the All-Star 8, got a 5-0 sweep over Andy in a lopsided match, but got the job done. But then in the Final Four, the number 5 seed from the token region, Lane Sanders, another 6-1 result there. And Ridley has played a different seed number for every single matchup there: 2, 7, 6, 4, 5, and now 1. So been going all over the board, but it's also been all higher or all lower seeds. So again, picking up a lot of quality in this run here for the season-long picture. This is really going to help them down the line when it comes to the bracket decisions and whatnot. But um, yeah, we'll see what Ridley can do here. Then of course, and as of course mentioned, the two Final Four games both end up 6-1, and now both players go head to head here. Nick looking for his second career tournament win. Ridley in their second career Final Four appearance across Emory was able to make it to the Final Four in Tournament 2 last season in D2, now up in D1 and to making it once again, but this time in the finale. So this is Ridley's first finale appearance. Don't have a preview at the moment, so just gonna roll off the top of my head. Rookie v Legend. Nick won the Legends class in the last matchup. This is Nick's second finale appearance, and he's currently 1-0 in the finales. With that tournament win in 2025 March. Then for Ridley, it has never been to a finale in either division for Emory, so first time appearance there. 15 seeds. There's been only one 15 seed who has won a Emory tournament across the board, and that one ends up being Mac Johnson in Tournament 3 last season. So for Ridley, looking to be oh wait, no, my mistake. There was what's it called? Someone else did. I'm trying to remember who it was, but there was two 15 seeds who have won before. Mac was one of them. I'm trying to remember who the other one was. It is not coming to me who the other one was, but really looking to be the third. My mistake. The third 15 seed to win, which is quite astonishing to say the least. That we've had two 15 seeds already win D1 so far, maybe getting our third. That would tie for the most in D1 at least, because the one seeds have three and could get their fourth tonight if Nick wins to extend that lead for both Division 1 and the overall. So we'll have to see how that goes. In terms of the finales, 15 seeds are 2 and 3. 1 seeds are 3 and 6 in terms of D1. So 50-50 for the 1 seed, 66% chance for the 15 seeds. We saw a 15 seed in the finale of this tournament last season. Came up short. We'll see if Ridley can avenge that loss and add another 15 seed win to the list here, which is quite incredible. That we have that, but that'll do it for the preview. We'll go to the table now. No co-commentator, unfortunately, but we got both our players here amped and ready to go. I'm going to start with Nick here since he's in the VC and also the higher seed. Nick, for you, it's your second finale in your career. Also a bit of redemption because I know from last tournament you were a bit disappointed you were not able to defend the crown in tournament 1, but able to maybe get a tournament win here in this one. I mentioned to you at the end of the Final Four also that if you do win tonight, you'd be the first person to win a regular season tournament in 2 different seasons. So a little bit of history on the line for that one, and of course you got the auto bid for Super League and would go back there once again after making it for the first time last season. But your thoughts going into this match, kind of thoughts heading in on Ridley on their run so far, how you approach them as a player. In your mind, what do you got to do to try to get that second career tournament victory?
Well, first of all, I'm just grateful to be able to be back in a finale like this. It's been an incredible year of Uno for me. Making it to the Final Four, falling short of defending the T1 crown, but still putting up a good effort. And then in this tournament, being able to make it all the way to this finale here, I'm just grateful to be able to, compete in these high pressure spots. A little bit less nervous about it than I was the first time I was in a finale like this. But that's just more because of the experience that I have compared to back when I was facing Ashley in that March finale. I was still sort of out of my breakout run. For Ridley specifically, I mean, he's been around the UUL scene and the D2 scene for, I mean, as long as I can remember. So he has a lot of experience on that sort of 7-card start mid-tier sort of range. You can't count out him at all, even though he's a 15 seed. I lost to Mark, who was like a 14 seed or a 13 seed in T1 as a rookie. So I'm hoping not to get deja vu from that. I cannot overlook anybody in this field. Ridley's more than capable of taking this if I'm caught sleeping, but for me, it's just going to be continuing to do the same brand of Uno that I've been doing all this year. Keep on doing the same sort of stuff that's brought me to this point. Mistake-free Uno, and yeah, just hope the cards fall the right way. We'll see what happens.
All right, we will see what happens indeed here, as for Ridley won't be in the VC, but going to drop the question for Ridley there to see what their pregame thoughts are. Going to read it off now. Ridley, been a great run on your end, but you're one match away from potentially being able to call yourself an Emery tournament winner. What have you seen throughout your run to this point, and what is it going to take to deny Nick his second tournament victory in his career tonight and claim your first? So, Ridley typing. We will see what he says, and after that, we will get this final boss finale started. So about to crown our second tournament winner tonight for D1 season. We saw Mark win tournament 1. We'll see who ends up winning tournament 2, and then we'll move forward into tournament 3. Which, yeah, I mean for tournament 3, that's going to be a big push for any last bids for the in-season challenge thingamajig, as well as the midway point of the season. So get a bit of a scatter on that one, but really their thoughts. Going to take some good cards and no mistakes. Excited for my first championship opportunity. Hopefully I can get it done. All right, well, short and simple from Ridley here. With that all out of the way, we are going to get things started. Nick has the call for game 1. We will see what he decides to roll off on here as we get this final boss finale started. And gonna go the full send right away. Not going to wait around for that full send at the moment. Just gonna go for it right off the bat. And we are underway with the final boss finale, and it is a red 5 to kick off this match. Best of 11 2 power play here, so first one to 6 wins the tournament. And that's going to be the magic number both players are going to be looking to get to here as we get underway with both of them looking through their hands. Usually we see some people like to save the full send towards the end or when they're kind of in a back against the wall situation, but Nick is going to just go for it right away here. And he's going to open things up by staying on the red. All right, and Ridley goes back to the starting card, so red 5 is immediately taken off the board here, with the second red 5 being played. But that's not going to stop Nick just keeping it on red. Red 4. And there's your first switch here going in the green. And really just kind of rolling with the vibes at the moment, not really making any big swings here. Nick's kind of just been dictating how the game plays out and really just kind of going along with it so far. Not a whole lot has happened, so still a lot of time for something to get switched up and change the pace. And not what Ridley was looking for there, is really going to have to draw on that green 9. The first self-draw of the series from either player. Really going to respond with a top deck right away. Nick gonna try to keep running the screen, hoping that he can force the draws out from Ridley again, and he will. And that's going to give the opportunity for Nick to switch the color. So he kind of had that set up no matter what Ridley decided to do there. That will free up Ridley, but Nick with a decently sized lead here at 7-11 as we speak. Yeah, and so far Nick has just been running the numbers down here. We'll see with Ridley now being a bit behind if they will try to make a move here, maybe a switch, not quite, but double play there to kind of close the gap a little bit. Nick just gonna keep going on the yellow here though. Alright. Ridley with the yellow 6. And alright, Nick gonna go with the wild here into red. This is the one color we have not seen. So with this, well, no, we haven't seen. My mistake. We haven't seen. We have. This is the color we saw from the start. We haven't seen blue yet. But wow, really gonna respond with a +2 off that one there. So saying not so fast for Nick, and Nick gonna have to draw 2, and it's now tied. Alright. Nick gonna start his run here with the red 6. Ridley did fall behind a bit early on, but has suddenly now taken the lead and a switch into blue, which opens Pandora's box. And suddenly it looks like Ridley going to be more on the offensive now. Get things going. We'll have to see how Nick responds to this one. All right, and that was that looked to be the run that Nick wanted there. Maybe just not in the order he specifically was hoping for, but he is down to 2 cards here, and gets the wild also to get the Uno. Does really have anything to switch the color or force a draw out of Nick? No, they do not. So Nick gonna take the opening game on that one there. We'll go up 1-0. 5:42 on the clock for that one there, and a good start for Nick. Didn't have to self draw on that one. Technically ran the plan A there. But able to get it done with the cards they had. Nick, I don't have a whole lot to say. I guess my only question is, did the +2 give you anything that kind of helped you achieve that finish, or did it just kind of delay the run you were looking to have?
It just sort of delayed the run I was looking to have. I mean, the +2 did help, but also like I feel like a better +2 return. Well, I I guess I mean a worse +2 return for me would have really screwed me over there, but uh, just was able to get a fortunate pickup off that draw. I got the red 6 and then another wild off that +2. I was hoping to just be able to chain into the blue to finish, but had to sort of switch up tactics there, and it worked out really, really nice for me. So yeah, happy to pick up that game 1, hoping to continue this momentum forward.
All right. Well, not much for Ridley on that one, but go to game 2 here. Can't quite go the full send for game 2, but you do have the call still.
10 cards, please.
All right. Gonna go down the middle now. Gonna go with 10. And underway here with the yellow 4, so not really any trends so far with the starting card. But still very early on here. I think both Nick and Ridley know that here, because even though Nick has the 1-0 lead here, still a lot to be played. I think for both though, with how their Final Four match went, they're hoping they could at least get a game on the board. Or Ridley hopes to get a game on the board to at least not have the concern of maybe having the 6-1 happen on them uh, there. But for both, looking to at least get 2 games to kind of prevent that from happening a third time in a row. Yellow 8, blue 8 from Nick, so he has switched the color once again for the first time in the game. Ooh, and a big run from Ridley right off the bat, switches in the red, denies Nick the blue. Oh man, this is just a game of big runs here. +2 from Nick, and we go back into blue on the 4-card run. All right. Sorry. All right. Back to the game. Blue, and that's our first +4 of the game, and we have both players really swinging early on here. 4-card runs from both, and now Ridley with the +4. We'll see if Nick has a +4 and responds with one of his own to just kind of continue the back and forth punches here. Been a very explosive game too to start things out. And Nick will respond with the +4 of his own. Goes in the green. Both players just kind of matching each other with what they throw here, and really going to cross over back into the red, trying to deny the green from Nick. Nick's got 4 cards left. Can he do something with it? No, he cannot. He's going to have to draw. First self-draw of the series for Nick here, is really looking to use this to try and retake the lead here and put Nick in a bad spot. Nick's still going to draw, cannot find the red, cannot find the switch. That's going to be good for Ridley here, as Ridley is able to get the switch and does their damage, does the damage they needed on red as they go yellow now. And looks like the damage is going to continue here, as Nick only has a yellow reverse to respond. Going to leave that one open, but really going to shut the door on that one there and continue their rundown. Nick gets a top deck yellow 8 here. We'll see if that throws off what really wanted. Really going to have to draw. May have just done that. Alright. Draw from Nick. Top deck from Ridley on the 5. Nick going to draw on that one. So will Ridley. So both out on yellow here, but we'll see if the top decks make it a not very long draw city. Not going to get it that time, so we are in draw city now. And okay, there's the top deck into red. But Ridley swapped out of red, so I'm not sure how long they can run this red, but Nick gonna cross over in the blue. What's a chance both got those 5 top decks in the same turn. And that's gonna allow Ridley to have little double play action here on blue. Nick has been drawing for a while though, so we'll see if he's got something here to maybe respond with. Ooh, a big run there from Nick. Gonna throw 2 cards to Ridley and switches it back to yellow. Maybe wanting a stall out here. He's got at least 1 card. Has the yellow 6. Ridley's still drawing. Is Nick ultimately electing to go for the stall out though here? And yes, he will. So we got both players drawing now on the yellow 6, back to where we were before. Gonna kind of build up those hands again, Nick with the lead though. That lead could change though with the top deck. Yellow 7. Nick with the top deck, also yellow 9. Will either get the switch. Ridley does not have the switch. Does Nick have the switch? He does not, so draws keep on coming here. Ooh, a reverse chain here. 3 card switch into green now. Really with the quick thumbs up. Yeah, I'm really gonna take the lead on that one there, but it's only a possession arrow lead. They're gonna go with the green one. Alright, green 7, switch the blue. Alright, really drawing on the blue though. Nick gonna go for a more of a I guess offensive wild usage here with the green now. Saw him use the wild on the yellow before, that ultimately led to a stall out here. I feel like this one's gonna be more of an attack, but Ridley says, hold on a second. Gonna give you 2 more extra cards here before you start. And it's gonna flip the table as well. It was 4-6 Nick, now it's 4-6 Ridley. Nick just gonna play the green 9 here. Can Ridley keep it going though? No, Ridley cannot. Ridley's hand is looking a bit scrambled at the moment. He seems to have a player or two on some of these colors, but just cannot really get much going. Nick playing the green 6, Ridley typing. Ooh, okay. All right. Ridley saying they're not a fan of that play, but a +6 into red. That's gonna put Nick at 10 cards. I don't think Ridley loves really not really loving the spot that they may have put themselves in here. All depends on how this one plays out, but will that end up being the correct play even if Ridley was not a big fan of making it? We shall see. All right, Nick taking a second to think this one through here. We're past 10 minutes in this game, so definitely been a longer game too. Let's see what Nick does here. Okay, Nick taking a while here. Not quite sure if he's thinking through this or had to go do something. He is typing now. And okay, I think he was thinking through that one. Goes with the +4 ultimately. Maybe he was questioning whether or not Ridley was close to a finish or something like that, but alright. Well, really gonna, again, similar to what they did before, gonna deny that green. With a switch to red. Ridley back up to 6 cards. And Nick just gonna be fine with rolling with red for now. This has been a pretty close game too here. Double play there. I think for Nick, definitely depends on whatever that +4 ended up giving, but may have been a chance that Ridley was looking at a finish there. But for now, Nick just gonna still roll with the red. And that's gonna allow Ridley to switch into that green, which Nick was wanting originally. But now with Ridley down to 2 cards once again, we'll see if the stance changes. Gonna go with the numbers here. That may be his only option. Really gonna draw down. Comes 2 cards short here. Looking to find the option. Ooh, Ridley gets another draw on red here. Rick switched to red, and both kind of in a stall out now. But Nick with the top deck. Could be in a position that maybe go on an attack here if he gets the switch, but no, he cannot. So now both on Draw City again. And this game will keep on going. Alright, draws, keep on moving. Draw City has just kind of kept on lingering here in this game. Both with top decks, really gonna go back to that red 7, looking to try to stall things out again. Nick gonna draw, really gonna draw again. Gonna keep adding to that hand here. 23 cards left in the deck. And this is kind of where you start seeing maybe the history pop in. I mean, I'm seeing there's 1+4 left, 2 wilds, so there's still some ammo cards left in the mix. Both yellow +2s are still lingering around. Both green skips are. There's a blue +2 kind of somewhere there. Someone may have it. Someone may be holding it. It could be in the deck. Who knows? But for now, Nick is going to Ridley's gonna execute on that switch to green. And after a double play from Ridley, gonna be a blue from uh, Nick to go with another color switch. Ridley with more cards here, but not by much. Could have a little bit more to work with here. It also depends on who has the power cards in their hand, if either have them at all at this point. Yeah, Nick with the lead here, but I mean, if someone has that last +4, that could be a big advantage for them, especially with how deep we have gone into this game. Another switch here, seeing quite a few of them goes into yellow. Again, I think this is really going to be a 3-color game here for the most part. Taking a second. And it's going to be a +2. That is one of the +2s that is left on yellow. That's going to flip the scoreboard in Ridley's favor. All right. Both running numbers here. Like just kind of keeping it on yellow, just kind of hoping Ridley can run out soon, but Ridley still keeps on playing the yellow. It's not down to 3. They're gonna go for that switch into green. What does that do for Ridley though? It's maybe puts him in a small dilemma. No, it's a crossover in the blue, which will let them get down to 2. Nick has 4 cards though, and there's still some ammo left in the deck. Could see that run. Getting close to 18 minutes here in game 2. Definitely a much different game compared to the opener. Blue 1 from Nick here. Does Ridley get the Uno? Maybe the finish. We shall see. And it's going to be a double play finish on the last blue +2. And that's going to be 1-1 with Ridley taking that one in 18 minutes, 13 seconds. So Ridley gets it done there. Hard fought game in that one. We'll ask Ridley their thoughts. We shall see what Ridley's got to say on that one there as they get on the board and tie it at 1-1. Yeah, Nick taking a second to go AFK. We'll see what Ridley has to say. All right. Kind of just hoping it would work out in the end like it did. Knew the double +2 was going to eventually lead me the drawing. Just didn't know how I won. Good game. Glad I was able to win it. Really typing. was close on power playing on the blue, and I realized the other blue plus two had already been used, so I just hoped I could stick it. Fortunately, didn't have another switch. Alright. Yeah, no, I think with that one, there was definitely a risk there because there was still a plus four left in the deck. So there was a liability there that maybe Nick had it and could have maybe plus forward if he was feeling in a dangerous spot or maybe had a bit of a run going, but really took the chance and was able to get it done there. So Nick is AFK for a minute. It says he's AFK for a minute, but it's been a little bit longer than a minute. We'll see what he has to say when he comes back, but he'll have the call for game three whenever he's ready. Uh, yeah, 2 games through so far, about 24 minutes of gameplay throughout this one here. Um, yeah, I mean, again, kind of while we're waiting, uh, technically the second last match of the tournament, third place match is tomorrow, as I mentioned at the top, but again, this is these finales always have a lot of implications for the season here because we've seen on a multitude of occasions where, of course, the winner makes it in with the auto bid, but there's times where the person who ends up losing ends up not making Super League for one reason or another. So for both, definitely going to be important. I think Nick though is in a very good spot at the moment, win or lose. Would have to take a completely disastrous turn of events to not be able to get that one completed, but um yeah, I mean for now, with the finale kind of coming in here, I think for Ridley, it's definitely a win could be huge. Because don't gonna have that worry there. Because I mean, if they go winless rest of the season, that's where a situation where I could see them being in trouble potentially. But all right, well, Nick is back here. Nick, before we go to game three, I want to ask: were there any options you could have done there? There was a plus four lingering left in the deck still. Did you have that? Did you consider using it if you had it? Just kind of general thoughts on the end of the game there, and if there was anything else you could have done different.
Uh, I did have other options. I had not the wild plus four, but the wild, and then two other reds there. The only thing that kept me from using the wild early into the red was the idea that there wasn't any reverses, skips, and only one plus two left in the deck for blues. So, and Ridley had used a plus two earlier after we came out of the draw city. So I was thinking that if Ridley had the blue plus two, it would be used in a plus six chain and not just held on to like that. But no, you played that. You played that well. It that dissuaded me from using the wild into the red, because if I was able to make him like draw there, or like even if he just played a blue number and I was able to wild into the red, I would have been in a really good spot to just be able to run the red up until the end. But so goes it, I guess. I think I played that pretty fine. Just still very very early into the series. Got to regroup into the next one.
All right, well, you got the game three call last of your first homestand here. Again, just 15 off the board. What would you like to go for here?
14.
Okay, so going kind of back up to the top here with the 14 here, and it's going to be a yellow plus two, second yellow start in a row. They're gonna not jump on the +2. They're gonna just play a yellow 7. Alright, both just kind of running with the yellow numbers so far here in this one. Alright, and there's your first switch here. Nick gonna go with the switch the green. +2 and the green 3. Alright, and Ridley says not so fast here. Threw the +2 down on green and now goes with the wild and the blue. We'll see how that shakes things up, or if Nick will try to deny it. Nope, we're gonna let it roll for now. We'll see what Ridley can do on this blue here. Just gonna run the numbers though. Blue 1. Dope things out. I would expect a few plays out of Ridley on this blue. Just gonna be a matter of whether Nick decides to switch it up or not. For now, I'm gonna just roll with it. And a double blue 1 from Ridley here, so had both of them. So really liking the hold on the blue 1 here, and I think I think with that one there, it's either you're really looking for a switch there, or you're just kind of trying to hold your ground on that one. I would think it's really trying to hold their ground there. But they'll have free options here with Nick drawing, so whatever it may be, gonna have the board available. You're typing, so I think they were really wanting to hold that blue there. Alright, another +2 and the blue 5. A few +2s from Ridley so far in this one. He's kind of been able to do that. Switch the green 5 from Nick. We saw this. We saw Nick really was able to do that switch the last time they played that +2 double, and they're gonna do that again. But Nick says not so fast this time. I have the second green 5 to counter that. And Ridley is gonna use their first power play. Has the +4, goes back in the blue. Nick got 16 cards here, so I think a wise decision for Ridley to just kind of make sure they have this game when secured. And wow, double +4 there. So yeah, didn't want to take the chance on the potential added cards on that one. Would have had Nick would have had 16 cards there to work through, but we're really gonna be a 2-1 lead heading into their homestand. I mean, the only question I really got to ask for Ridley is just kind of the decision to use the power play. I figured it was a card risk. Didn't feel like giving the +4 and had to keep playing, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, the double +4, you're kind of setting yourself up pretty well there. So I think really kind of took the question out of my mouth there, but I mean, Nick, really, I think for really they were really trying to prevent you from having a response back with that many cards in your hand. Did you end up having anything there, or was it actually a situation where you did not get much, and was not really going to be able to make much of a response out of that?
Nah, I mean, I didn't really have much. I think Ridley would have been fine just not using the power play, to be honest. But I mean, I get the logic. You don't want to have your opponent having that many cards in a vulnerable spot like that. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, those lopsided games happen. I just gotta do my best to make sure it doesn't snowball like a lot of these matches have gone as of lately.
All right, well, game 4 here, and Ridley's got their first home call. Can't pick 14 or 10. We'll see what Ridley decides to go for here, as Royals will ask Ridley the big old question. Now, knowing Ridley here, yeah, I mean, they're gonna go back to that 15, even though they lost on it before. They've had some bad beats on this full set before, so we'll have to see if this ends up being another situation like that. And it's gonna be a yellow 4 for this one. I think we start with a red 4 on game 1, so kind of staying with the 4s here, but if Ridley wins this one, then the full set's going to be off the table here. And I mean, based off how Ridley likes to go about these card starts, would be a chance. Would probably have to go down. Would probably go down to 13 for game 5 since 14's off the board already. Game 1 was red 5. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. Then never mind. My mistake. Anyways, we're gonna just keep going on yellow here. Really gonna switch things up though. Game 2. Okay, yeah. I felt like I feel like the 4 happened before. I just kind of mixed up the games. But yeah, this is the third yellow in a row. And that's going to be the third color in a row, different color in a row here as a crossover in the red from Nick, and that's going to be a ditto. My question is, I think that might be the first ditto of the series. It took a little bit to actually get there, but we are here with the double reds, but gonna double up on that one with the 4, and then we're gonna I guess the second part of not cubing it. No, what am I thinking? Yeah, there's not really, that's not how you cube it. Anyways, we were running red, but now we're really gonna switch to green. I'm not really sure what I was thinking. I was kind of getting off on a different tangent. Another ditto right there on the green 5. The dittos are coming out in full force here in game number 4. I will say, with this plan A running so far for Nick, you're really gonna want to try to get this game win because, I mean, the concerns are gonna start lingering in if Ridley gets this win for what happened, in the final 4. Nick is not gonna want a repeat of that, and really gonna try to make sure there's not a repeat of that with a +6 there. We'll take the lead with that one, and Ridley is drawn. That might have been a bit of. I'm wondering if that was maybe an early draw on that one there. With 13 cards, I'd be surprised if they have no red, especially with drawing a +6 there. But Nick gonna immediately switch into blue. And really just kind of keeping the run going here. Looking to maybe take the win here on this one, which will be a second win on 15 in a row. Wild green from Nick, and I think for Ridley that might be an alarm. We'll see what they do, but definitely going to be a sign that maybe it's time to get a move on if they have an option. And they're going to switch it out of green. Will that be enough, though? Based off Nick typing, it does not look like it. Yeah, and it will not. +4 there to end it. Another quick one there. It's going to be 2-2. So, yeah, I mean, straight plan A on that one. Not a whole lot to say on that. But, yeah, that's kind of how that goes. I don't got much on that one. We'll go to game 5 here. It is tied at 2-2, so we will not get a repeat of either Final Four game also. Alright, so, okay, so really actually not going to go with the 15. Going to try to switch things up a bit. Going to go with the 12. Not really feeling the 15 tonight, and may stay away from it for now, as going to go with 12 here, and we go with the green 6, so that's going to be a different card start here, and that breaks the little yellow chain we had. It's also going to break the chain of staying on the same color towards the start here. We get an immediate switch into red. and Nick gonna just kind of follow along with it. Those starting switches are always very interesting to me because it's tell a few. It kind of says a few different things on what you're looking to do, but we'll have to see how they approach that. But yeah, I'm gonna just kind of run the red for now. Let's skip red 4. As I'll play, we'll give Nick the possession arrow lead. Now red 3. Alright, red 5. Draw from Ridley. Alright, draw from Ridley on the red as I said before. Nick was taking a second on that one and is going to go with yellow, so I would think for Ridley not going to have to draw that long. And again, still no green, which was the starter, and Ridley only having 1 yellow. This is not looking good for Ridley here. That's 2 colors that they have drawn on now. As Nick just continues to keep running it down here, looking for potentially another Plan A victory here. And really going to say not so fast as the +4 goes in the blue. Alright, Nick tried to switch it into green. Ridley says not so fast. And Nick just going to be like, alright, we'll keep going blue. As that blue 1. Alright. Really gonna try to go with really gonna now try to go with the green here when they were denying it before. Right now, looking to be in a good spot here, especially with that +2 thrown on blue. Ooh, and they're gonna respond with +4 of his own and goes back into blue. 5-7 now. Ridley gonna have to draw. Does not like that blue and did not get any from the +4. So for now, just gonna keep on drawing. Nick looking to flip the script here. Gets it back in the green down to 2. Both the players have been playing around with this blue and green for a bit. And I mean, for Ridley, it's a situation where you need that run, or even the +2 to try to do something, and Ridley will have the +2 to disrupt, and puts Nick back at 5. Nick able to play for now, but maybe do the 2 extra cards maybe give Ridley an opening to get back in this one and retake the lead. Green 2, green 9, both just kind of running the numbers here. We're both definitely going to feel a bit tense. Nick is at 3 cards. Ridley's at 6. So still a bit of a gap here, but a quick little run, it can change everything. Nick thinks it's over, and that may be the case. No, it is not. Really gonna go for more of a block here. Leaves the yellow +2 open, but once again is gonna throw 2 cards Nick's way. Very peculiar move here. I think Nick will have an. Nick may have an answer here, but does he go for it? Does he have a +2? Does he try to run it on yellow? Does he even maybe draw? I mean, could be a few options on the table here. Nick is gonna draw on this one. Now we'll see what Ridley does. Ridley's at 4 cards. Ridley is typing up something. Oh wow, really gonna use their second power play right here. And they're gonna be already out of power play, and we're not even halfway through the series. Wow, a big top deck here on the blue and a crossover in the red. I mean, I think they wanted the power play to ensure that switch there. It's going to be 3-2 here, but Ridley has used both their power plays already. Nick still has not used either. Good with being out on both power plays, having 2 wins on them. All right. I'm going to ask Ridley just kind of general outlook for the rest of the series, but Nick, thoughts on that one there? I mean, you're kind of in a back and forth there. You're getting close, get the +2 thrown at you, and then you elect to draw on that one after a bit of a thought there, but just kind of from your point of view, how that one played out.
No, I had a red +2 on its own there. Just chilling in red with no really number to connect it into. The idea was to draw until I had a red to sort of go with that, so I wasn't just doing another +2 and then giving Ridley an opportunity to make it a +6 either way. Other than that, I just had nothing. Really, nothing the whole game there, other than the +4 that I got off the +2 initially, or it was either Ridley's +4 or the +2 that he did. My hand was not looking pretty to start off, so I'm just grateful that Ridley had to use a power play in that scenario, and I still have 2. But yeah, I got to find a way to use them though before we get to this series. Before I don't have an opportunity left, so we'll see what happens.
All right, for Ridley, mentioned already the power play situation where they're good with being out of both of them with the 2 wins they got, but for the mindset, Ridley saying it doesn't change, just going to keep looking for the finish, so we'll see how that goes for Ridley. Ridley going to try the 15 again, and I'm a little surprised by this one, especially since they went off it in game 5, and now they're going back to it game 6. Really insistent on trying to make this work. I mean, the big problem though with this is, I mean, you lost on it once, tried it again, didn't work. But I mean, if you do it a third time and you lose again, I mean, that's really opening the door for Nick to have a lot of options for what card start he wants. Because especially in a series like this where it's like best of 11, one of the things with kind of switching it all over the place is you kind of limit the options on what someone will want for the card start, and especially if there's someone who prefers a specific range, kind of running those out and forcing them to go into range they're not as comfortable with is definitely kind of an advantage. But I mean, with constantly going to the same card start and losing, you kind of lose that. So we're gonna have to see how this works out. But they are really trying to make this full send work here. As game keeps on going here. Nick swapped the red, but immediately did a wild play in the blue. Is that a weakness on red? We'll have to see. But really fine with going back to blue for the moment. And double play there from Nick to take the possession arrow lead. And really gonna take it right back with a double play with the run. So both just kind of running the blue for the moment. I mean, the question is, will someone try to go for that switch there? I mean, for Ridley, I was just about to say, do they try to go back into that red there? Because Nick kind of did not stay on the red for long. He used a while to get out of there. So gonna have to see if this is maybe a weakness or if Nick was doing a little bit of bluffing. He's gonna have another wild into blue. Really does not want that red. Can Ridley keep going on the blue? Maybe not, but has a +4 and is going to insist they go the red. Not liking the situation on that one there, and really wanted to test that red for Nick there. Played the red 0, then immediately swapped out of it. I mean, with the +4, may have something. Yeah, he has the red 4, but question is, how long does this red last, is the question. Really gonna roll with red for now. And Nick gonna switch it out again of red. Really just does not want that red, but Ridley has the double red 3 to force it. Really trying to put pressure on Nick to show what he has. Oh man, and a +6 into green, and Nick is doing everything but drawing on this red. And Nick gonna be at 7 cards, Ridley up to 10 cards. And we go into the green for the first time since the start of the series. Didn't really stay that long on it though. All right, green 0. And the green 8, so alright. Nick kind of just trying to do what he can to keep burning it down. Question is, how does Ridley respond? Taking a minute to type. I mean, I feel like for Ridley, they're really going to be trying to force the red here. How much Nick has been hesitant to go there. For now, it's going to be a double play with the green +2. Pink. All right. Green 3 from Nick. And it's going to allow Ridley to switch into the yellow. But that's going to be a slap in the face there as Nick going to go with the +2 on that one to throw 2 cards towards Ridley and go down to 5. All right. Nick going back into that green. Again, trying to make things level. Double play from Ridley, though, to make it closer. 4 to 5 here at the moment. Nick with another green goes down to 3. What does Ridley do? Ooh, another +4. It goes into red once again. The first +4, I think, gave some red here. But Ridley now down to 3. And onto the color that Nick has been very hesitant to stay on for more than a turn. We'll see what Nick can do here, but Ridley looking to try and force his hand. Nick will play a 7. Ridley red 6. Now Ridley is down to 2 cards. No power play though, so can't really use one to get the win if they have it on the next turn. Nick gets 6 cards, taking a second to think. Does Nick have any options? Does Nick have a +4, a wild? Maybe a +2. Is there any +2s left on red? There is a +2 left. Maybe a switch. Could be looking at that hand to see what he can do to maybe play some defense. Alright, Nick's got his response here. Alright, what's he gonna do on this one? Alright, got to switch into yellow. Gonna get out of red there. Kind of continues the trend of not wanting to stay on red for more than a turn. What does Ridley have? Down to 2 cards. Another +4. Oh my god. Okay. I think that was 3 +4s from Ridley in that game. That's kind of crazy, but yeah, for Nick, I was trying to think what he could do there on that one, and did not seem like there was much he could do there at the end of it. So 4-2 Ridley here in a good spot for Nick. Did not get the lucky end of that draw there, as Ridley with the 3 +4s is going to take that game, and with that game low, will break the +4 tie that was happening beforehand. Yeah, for Ridley, it's another game win, 2nd in a row. Now close off their homestand. Had 2 +4s from the start there. So ended up picking up the 3rd along the way. Nick, the one thing I gotta ask you is, I mean, you were very much trying to play around not going on the red throughout that game there. Obviously we've seen how it played out with the 3 +4s. That was gonna be a tough hill to climb there, but just kind of walk me through your thought process there on that one, as seems like you were trying to, it seems like it was not really much more than a turn there on red. You wanted to stay there with how you were playing that one.
Yeah, just tried something different. Didn't work out because the opponent got 3 +4s and I got 0 +4s. So I don't know. We'll try to avoid that happening next time around. We'll see what happens.
Well, for Ridley, it's also 3rd time's the charm on the full send, so that strategy ends up paying off finally, but that'll also mean full send is off the table for the remainder of the series, to the dismay of a few people. But that also means Nick's going to have to call for game 7 here. Going to look to try and bring this one back with these next 2 games. It is 4-2 right now. We'll see what Nick does. Only 15 is unavailable, and Nick is going to try to do something that Ridley did with the 4T. I'm a little surprised by this, I think, because I mean, the first attempt on the full send did not work out for Ridley, so I'm wondering if this ends up being the same thing for Nick. That could be not very good. I mean, based off how the trend goes, I mean, if it fails this one, I mean, at least the 3rd attempt could be a decent one there, but the issue with that is you're going to be in a 5-3 situation by that point, or 5-2 situation by that point, so it's not going to be a great spot, but we got a ditto right off the bat here to start this game off. And make that a 2 times combo for the dittos there, 2 in a row. Green 7 and the green 4. Alright, green 6. No triple there, but we stay green. +2. I had to attempt something, but Ridley had the +2 in the green, goes in the wild. Nick responds with a slap in the face, and is going to have to draw after that one. So Ridley with the lead on that one, and I don't think this is a good spot for Nick here because he very much needs this win here. And I mentioned before at the top, I think that the choice to go to 14 when he originally lost on it was definitely a interesting one with how Ridley it took 3 attempts to win on the 15. So if we're basing it off that, there's a bit of a trend where the second attempt won't work. So yeah. No low tier starts also. I think the lowest we had was 10 in game 2, so no one really wanted to test the lower tier in this finale. Crossover in the blue though. Nick tried to go with the switch in the green. Ridley is not so fast. It makes it blue. Kind of having control in the colors at the moment here. We'll see if Nick has a response. Nope, just gonna roll with the blue for now. Only behind by one card, but Ridley is holding on to that lead for the time being. Double blue 9 there from Ridley. So had a second crossover ready if needed. And Nick just gonna keep going on blue. Alright, both kind of swimming through the sea at the moment. Oh, took a second to load there, but we'll see what happens here, because I mean both are just kind of running numbers at the moment here. For Nick, this is definitely going to be a more precarious spot though, because he's going to feel like he needs this win here, because if Ridley gets the win, then Ridley's at tournament point. That's a big run here from Nick. Is going to go into red, 5-card run with the red there. Ends it with the red 1 and is now down to 3 cards and takes the lead with that one. Big play there from Nick. What is the response from Ridley? A ditto. Gonna ditto on that one there. Nick down to 2. Can Ridley do anything to try to throw off Nick here? Taking a second to type. Again, Ridley with no power plays, so can't use that. Nick with both of them also, so I'm wondering if he might consider trying to use one. Wild yellow here from Ridley. Does Nick maybe have a +4 finish, potentially? We'll see. I think he's been running plan A on this one so far. No, he wasn't. And there's going to be a draw on the yellow here, which, I mean, if Ridley has a play on the yellow, this is not going to be good for Nick. We saw the yellow before. I mean, Nick had a draw on the yellow there. Ridley still maybe looked to have a little bit more to give. So I would say Ridley has a play here. Nick thinks this one's over. And it is. The 4-card run there. Ridley 5-2 here and is now 1 away from winning this series here. And I mean, I mentioned off the top, the return on the 14, I just think with how Ridley was trying the 15 so much, I thought that was a little bit of a daring move there, and unfortunately did not work, as really going to have 3 in a row now. And Nick just wants to go right into that next game here, game 8, and I think kind of what I was mentioning before, looking to follow that trend there to maybe get a win here. But not much to say on that one, just wants to get it rolling here, and it's going to be a green 1 for game 8, as it's third attempt for Nick on the 14. Based off the trend, he can win this one, but we'll have to see how this goes. And I mean, this is going to be not good for Nick, because he's going to be feel forced to have to make a move here on this one to maybe go for a power play if things are not looking good. Especially with the advantage that that Nick's not gonna have to worry about Ridley maybe popping one out of nowhere. The main concern is where does the finish come, and I think if you're concerned of a finish, power play to play defense on that one can be used. But obviously, for Nick, really wants to try to use it in a way that could benefit him more. So that's not going to be the ideal scenario. Put a wild blue from Ridley. Gets off the red. Both just kind of running blue now. I mean, again, if Nick wins this one, that's the two highest cards. Card starts off the board for the remainder of this one. Blue 8, blue 5. Doing a big run here from Nick. Going to be +6 thrown in the middle of that one. 4-card run goes in the green. Ridley back up to 15 cards. Nick down to 5. Ridley has quite a few cards in their hand. We'll see if they have a response to maybe throw a little bit more. Not for now. Gonna just play it cool. Run green. Nick trying to get on the board here. For Ridley, the first play is a calm one. We'll see what the second one is. Not quite as calm. Going to be a 4-card run of their own. Throws a +2 in the middle of that one. And puts it on blue, which Nick does not have any of, and that is not what he wanted there. Ooh, another run here. Ridley not spending too much time on that blue. Going to take the lead with that run on yellow. I think. Actually, no. I think it's tied. Yeah, no, it's tied. Never mind. And I think Nick, with the blue draw already, I think we'll have an option on yellow at least. Zero, double play from Ridley, +2, and I mean for Ridley, I mean a lot of +2s in this series here. That's their 17th, 17 to 10 on the +2s here. Ridley leading the stat categories at the moment, except for wilds and color switches also, but that's pretty even. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for Nick, this is not looking good here. I think this is definitely going to make him get into the territory where he has to consider if he wants to use one of those power plays in a more of a defensive manner, which is not really the ideal scenario he wants to use it in, but maybe left with no choice depending on the situation. Going to play some defense here with the switch to blue, hoping that Ridley does not have anything on that one. Leaves the skip open. Oh, and a wild yellow from Ridley is going to not give the result Nick was wanting for in that exchange there. I mean, the question continues to grow on how and whether a power play comes out here. Because Ridley's creeping closer and closer. And there it is. Nick going to use his first. Not quite in the manner I think he was wanting to use it, but gonna have the yellow 5. Maybe he looks for a switch. Ridley tried to go for an early play there, but got power played, so they cannot. I want a big run here from Nick. Well, Ridley gonna be able to have a chance to play that yellow 7 at least. But Nick now with the lead, that power play could help him maybe run this one out. Maybe get the game win, and that 7 is going to allow Nick to switch in the green. Crossover into the red, though. Ridley thinks it's over. Did Nick want to crossover, or did he want to run that green? Nick is down to 2 cards here. And he's going to use his second power play, and it's going to be a double draw. And now, suddenly, in the span of a minute, Nick is out of both his power plays. Really going to have another card in the deck here. That red switch was not what he wanted. Ridley gets to switch into green. Getting close, but with both power plays gone now, Nick is maybe running out of time. Okay, no, switch to yellow actually. Uh, is Nick running out of time here? Desperately trying to look for the deck to find an answer. Gets an answer though with the +2. He takes the lead. Ridley did not seem to have the finish there anyways, unless it was a number efficiency. And now Nick looking to run it to the end. Now what does Ridley do? Well, power plays are gone now, but Nick is still in a spot where he could capitalize. And Ridley gets a +4, a big +4 top deck there that is going to really throw off what Nick was wanting to go for there. Goes into blue. Ridley mentioning that Nick was right to use both power plays there, so played good defense on that one twice. But that's not going to stop the +4 there on that one. It's really down to 3. Nick up to 6 cards. I think Nick was looking for one of those +4s, and unfortunately for him, it came to Ridley. There's still 3 left, so still has a chance to maybe find one. Could have gotten one with the +4 that really just dished out right now. Because I really think right now, unless he has some sort of lineup, that's really what Nick's looking for here. Okay. Alright, well, game's still going on here. Ridley mentioning that they were a turn away before. But Nick, again, at a crossroads here, really trying to figure out what he wants to do. Ridley at 3 cards. It's at blue. Nick has 6 cards. Nick just going to keep it blue for now. Ridley with no blue, though. Wondering if the decision was maybe considering a switch, and if it was a decision between that, I think Nick decided right. Both low, both not with blue, but Nick gets the top deck. Nick with the lead now. And we'll get the switch in the yellow, so Nick in a spot where he's looking to capitalize, really able to play now, though. Yellow 7, yellow 1, green 1. So switch into green now for Ridley. Both are low and both are close. Both trying to do what they can to get this one done. Nick taking a minute. Trying to think this one out. I think with how long this is taking, I don't think this is a finish from Nick here, but I think he's close. Because he's only at 3 cards here, so I think this is really decision time for Nick here. Does not have power play anymore. Power play, not a factor anymore. So it's really just going to come down to the cards. What does Nick do here? Past 10 minutes in game 8. Just really wanted to think this one through here, because this very much could be the 50-50 decision to decide the game. And Nick is going to go for the +4 there. Has one. Nearly forgot to call Uno, but saved it. Ridley says GG. Switch the green. And Nick gets blocked on that one. Iced out by Ridley. Ridley thought it was over, but Ridley able to keep it alive. I'm wondering if the 50-50 decision was what number to play on the +4 there. And unfortunately for Nick, there was a chance he picked wrong, although there could be a chance where he was going to get swapped out either way. And now Ridley in the lead. Nick with the top deck green reverse. Maybe will that throw off Ridley? Not quite. Green 9 from Ridley, just really running this green here. And there's a switch in the yellow from Nick. What he wanted before. Does Ridley have any yellow? No, Ridley has a switch in the red. That's that crossover from Ridley here in the red here, and Nick may be just along for the ride at this point. At 4 cards, but does he have any answers? Once again, the decision falls onto Nick here. What does he do? Could be a lot of looking here. He could be looking at the history tab, could be looking at how the series has played out to this point. Red has been very unexplored. There has been not a lot of cards played on red, so could be a very dangerous color here. But also could also be that a lot of the reds are just in the bottom half of the deck. Nick, once again, just really trying to think this one through here. Does not want the series to end here. Wants to keep this one going for another game. Just really just kind of trying to think through what he's got to do. Nick with the play here. Going to use a wild to go into blue. We have not seen blue in a bit. And for Ridley, it's going to be a draw. Nick able to keep playing the blue. Top deck from Ridley. Does that throw Nick off here? Both are down to 2 cards. Nick draws. Really gonna need a switch for Uno. And they do get a switch in the red. Ridley at Uno. And with both players very low here, it's gonna take a top deck to make a big swing at this. Otherwise, it's whatever you have is whatever you have. Goes into red. What are the options for Nick here? He has 3 cards. Plays the red 5. Thinks it's over. And it is over. Ridley gets it done with the red. Able to find what ultimately ends up being a winning top deck on the blue 3 to switch into red and get it done there. Was looking to run the red to the end there, but found just the right card on the draw to be able to get back into that red. And for Nick, just ran out of options there. A well-played game there from Nick, but unfortunately going to fall just a bit short. Definitely going to be a heartbreaker for Nick. Once again, coming up short of the tournament win, but for the second tournament in a row, Rookie wins it all. Ridley gets the arcade April victory and will be booking their ticket to Miami for Super League 2026. So the Rookie domination continues, even if it wasn't as dominant overall on an overall scale as last tournament. The Rookie's still managing to find a way to stay on top. But for Nick, definitely going to be a frustrating one there. I mean, again, it's been a great start for Nick, all things considered, but really wanted that win there, and just unfortunately just came up short there, especially in a game 8 where he was giving it his all in that one. But in the end, it's going to be Ridley who wins the game and the series. So Ridley wins it 6-2 with 4 straight wins to wrap that one up. But what a win for Ridley here. Wins their first career tournament in MRE overall. And again, second straight tournament in a row with the Rookies take the crown. But gonna go Ridley for some post-game comments here. Just give me a second. I'm gonna type it out. Do we have the Super League logo here? I don't remember. Yes. All right. Got the question for Ridley here. While Ridley is typing their answer, I'm gonna go to Nick here for this one. Nick, definitely gonna be a heartbreaker on that one. Was looking to be a close fight early on in that one. But then second half of that series, cards, game, whatever it may be, just kind of getting away from you in that one. Put up a great fight in game 8. Ridley even mentioned both power plays coming in clutch there to kind of keep that one going, but unfortunately, going to be really the right move on the wild blue, but just a rough top deck to lose it on with the blue 3, the switch it into red, which was what Ridley was looking for. Just kind of any comments on that one? Anything from your perspective that think may have went wrong tonight? And just kind of your just kind of thoughts right now after the game.
Obviously sucks to lose like that. For that game specifically, maybe I used that one power play, not the one wild +4 that I had a little early. Maybe I could have held on to that and kept drawing, but the way the series was going, I sort of expected Ridley to have an answer to pretty much everything. The wild play at the end there, I was really trying to freaking soul read there, and I had the right read that it was going to be 2 reds to the finish, because let me get my hand right at that moment. It was freaking... It was this situation. I was gonna use the 5s to switch into the bread and then beat Ridley to the finish that way, rather than running the reds. I just had a gut feeling I was just gonna be reds to the finish if I didn't do anything there. But Ridley was able to get that top deck with 3 that really, and then just getting back into the red, and that really crushed me because I felt like no matter what I did, it just backfired right in my face. No, kudos to Ridley. Maybe I could have done something a little bit different with the card starts, because Ridley's really been the only person this tourney to really hang with me on the upper tier card starts. Maybe I could have played a little bit better in that one game where I played the 2 red wilds back to back. Well, not back to back, but in short sequence of one another. But ultimately, I was kind of due for one of these games where it just doesn't necessarily turn out the way you hope for. The cards just don't fall the right way. But irregardless of that, it's still been a really, really good start to the year. The silver lining with getting close to and nearly and just losing out on winning a tournament is that you get a lot of good wins on the way. So 8 wins to start off the year. Not officially locked into Super League, so I'm still gonna have to go out and perform to hopefully get one of those higher seeds. But kudos to Ridley. I mean, he played that pretty darn good. Not much else to say. We'll be looking to regroup and get things back and get the momentum back going for T3. You are muted if that's what's going on.
I forgot to unmute. Anyways, I'm gonna kind of bring this up also. I mean, even with the loss here, I mean, you're still having a really great start to the season here. 8 wins plus a DQ win, two Final Fours, and I mean, still in really prime position to be doing very well for yourself as the season goes along. I mean, especially with the new Super League format this year, with the bonus points for the higher seeds here. I mean, you're positioning yourself well to kind of be in that spot even without the tournament win. But just kind of generally generally just kind of how you're feeling with the overall start to the season. I mean, you have a Final Four, uh, finale. I mean, two medals technically because you got third in tournament one, then you get the silver in tournament two here. But uh, just kind of general thoughts on how the season's gone for you so far, and kind of how you hope to carry that in tournament three. Because I mean, at the moment here, I mean, you're looking to be in a good. I don't know how much this is really going to be a big impact on you per se, but you're really looking to be in a good spot to be the number one overall seed for the in season challenge.
Uh, I mean, yeah, that'll be nice. I mean, and on the current projections, I mean, I got third place and then second place. I mean, surely T3. I mean, the data is saying I win T3, but regardless, yeah, still a really really good start to the year. I think that just making sure that I don't completely check out is going to be important. I don't usually go about like uh just taking tournaments off because I still love to go out and compete. I'm not one to just take a tournament off and just do whatever, but um yeah, um just hoping to keep the wins coming because I know if I stay at 8 wins, that's not necessarily a top seed come Super League time, but um if I keep up this good momentum and I keep on, making it deep in these tournaments, I mean that's number one seed material right there. So still a lot of work left to be done in these on the year.
All right, thank you, Nick, for your comments. Gonna go to Ridley here. Now I'm gonna read off their response, and I'm gonna just kind of ask them thoughts going on to tournament three. Nick kept fighting on the last game to everything in his power, but that's what you have to do with the one loss left. Great to punch my ticket in the real deal at the end of the season. Tournament's been generational. Me never would have expected to be a tournament winner in a rookie season. Um, all right, really gonna ask that. I think for Ridley also, it's just kind of a big win for for some redemption from D2 last season because I mean the tournament two made the final four and came up short there. So I mean kind of get some indirect redemption obviously with D1 D2. The whole tournament thing goes a little different, but um, I mean it's still a big result for Ridley here. Third 15 seed to win a tournament in D1. I'm pretty sure in D2 we haven't even had one make the final four. So something about 15 seeds in D1 is just clicking. And I mean with this win, it's gonna make it where the one in the 15 line are tied for most tournament wins in D1. So very very strange trend line to say the least. You wouldn't really expect the 15 line to do it. You'd expect more of the 2 line, which only has one D1 win to its name as we speak. But um, that's how it goes there. But yeah, for Ridley, it's gonna be quite the ride. It's gonna be quite the ride for Ridley here on this one. But we'll see how this all shapes out for them. So we'll kind of wait to get some kind of additional comments here, and then we'll be good to wrap this stream up here and unofficially end Arcade April. Again, we still got a third place match tomorrow, but that'll be more of like a ironically with the name of that one, the post story third place game, that kind of is now more fitting since it's happening after the final boss finale. But yeah, that'll be a little fun epilogue to wrap up the tournament here. Hopefully we get something similar to we saw in tournament 1, which was a fun little best of 7 non-stream match, but we'll see how this goes. All right, so for Ridley, goal is to win another championship now. I'd love to push this far again next tournament. We'll see how that works out. Seed line's never been important to me, but I can't lie, it's pretty cool to be 1 seed this early in my D1 career. Hopefully can defend the crown and solidify myself as best player in the league next tournament. All right, well, that is going to do it for us. Congratulations to Ridley on winning Arcade April. The rookies are keeping their early season dominance going here. First mark now Ridley here. We'll see if we can make it 3 for 3 in the next tournament. And again, I mean, for the rookies, I mean, even with on an overall scale, this tournament not being as successful as tournament 1, this has got to be a good sign for the rookies here as we go along the season. As even the people who are on the rookie side who are not doing so well to start off, it could be a good chance to turn things around soon. Especially with Ridley, who lost their opener in tournament 1, was not part of the group that had a decent tournament in 1 there. So. I think that leaves a lot of optimism for that class there, especially with them on the top side dominating so far. 3 of the 4 finale spots have been rookies as well. I'll mention that. So, yeah, I mean, on the top side, at least, rookies are definitely being very dominant at the start of the season here. So we'll have to see if that dominance continues or if they take a step back in tournament 3. We'll have to find out. But that's going to do it for our coverage of Arcade April. Thank you all so much for watching this stream and this tournament. Very hectic tournament to say the least. I mean, at least on the D1 side, the good news is KT should be back for tournament 3, so he'll probably take over coverage on that one there. So we'll throw it to him when we can. In terms of general media coverage, you know, I know we were kind of missing D1 lives for this tournament and the back half of tournament 1. I think those will maybe come back with KT returning. We'll see. It's kind of in a media spot where that's kind of been sort of his thing. So we'll see if that comes back. I know some people liked it for tournament 1, so just kind of depends on the timing though with all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for watching the finale. Congrats to Ridley on the win. Thanks for everyone who was helping out as the tournament went along, and hoping to keep the season going strong here as we move into tournament 3. But the half of the Emory Uno team, including our refs, commentators, our players, everyone came out to watch. Thank you all so much for watching the stream. Thanks to Voiles for being our ref. Thank you to our players, and congratulations once again to Ridley on winning Arcade April. We will find out what they decide the tournament 3 theme will be in due time. But until then, I'm G-Man. Take care, everyone, and have a great night. As take it away to the outro for the last time in Arcade April. We will see you all in tournament 3 for the June tournament. Until then, take care, everyone. Have a good one.
This has been a presentation of Emory Uno Division 1.